folks. We're down here on Hall's Bayou this morning down in Texas. It's mid-November. Got up this morning, it was 48 degrees air temperature. I think it's warmed up to about 50 now. Water temperature is currently 65 degrees, so it's, that's perfect. Water clarity is not too awful bad, so I'm hoping we're going to have a pretty good day. And what I'm going to be doing today is, the first thing is, I'm going to be testing out this here new spinnerbait rod from Dunamis Rods. Old Josh, I talked to him and told him some issues I was having with spinnerbaits. Felt like I was pulling the lure out of their mouths when they were hitting. And the deal is, what I found out is a lot of the spinnerbait rods you buy out there in the big box stores or sporting goods stores, they're just a little bit too stiff for really to fish spinnerbaits. So this is a little bit lighter action rod, and we're going to see what's going to happen. Now what I'm going to be fishing with is, of course, a Throw-In Thunder spinnerbait. I've got this white and blue. It ought to be a good color down here right now. The bass should be feeding on the shad, so they ought to hammer this here color. But if not, I got a whole box of these awesome quad blade spinnerbaits in here, and we're going to see what happens. So hang in there. Let's see if we can catch some fish. Well, we are in Texas, and as you can see, it didn't take me long to get that hoodie off. The water temperature has actually already climbed up to 67 degrees, so that's a couple degrees here in just the last half hour that we've been fishing. Haven't got anything to bite yet, but we're going to keep moving. The tide is just starting to flow out, so that might kick them off. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I stopped it there. I ran into a stick and brought it over it, and stopped it. There he is. Oh yeah, I knew there was a bass in there. Pretty good bass too. There. Look at there. Hey, the new rod is bloodied. Not a monster, but it did exactly what it was supposed to do. I let that fish load up on it. I set the hook, and he didn't get off. So, hey, I am well pleased. Get back on down in there. One of the mistakes that a lot of folks make when they're spinnerbait fishing is when they hit some structure, or a branch, or grass, or something like that, they just keep reeling the spinnerbait. And sometimes that's not what you want to do. Sometimes you want to stop and pause and hesitate for a minute and let that spinnerbait kind of flutter to the bottom a little bit. And a lot of times that'll draw a strike. Yeah, see if we can show you here. Pulled it over a branch, I hesitate it, let it fall. Hit another branch, hesitate, let it fall. And I'll tell you right now, if there had been a bass there, he'd have probably hammered it. There we go. There's a better fish. There we go. Yeah, that's a pretty decent Bayou bass right there. And look at there, that's 2 for 2 for the new rod. Josh, you did me good, man. Appreciate it. Dunamis. Call Josh up, Dunamis Rods, and I'll tell you, he will do you right. He will get you set up. Tell him what you want. He'll talk to you and get you exactly what you want. There we go. Look at there. Oh, that was a speckled trout. Imagine that, speckled trout on a rumblebee. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Dang it. Now that was a big one. And the reason I didn't get a good hook set, he got that got the tail up there on the hook. We're not going to say anything to that's a problem with the rod or not. Dang it. That was a good fish. Yes, sir. Had to check see if the camera's still running. There's one more. Not a monster, but hey, day like today when really, I mean, it's midday, the sun's up there, catching them on spinnerbaits, can't beat it. Well, howdy folks, I'm back from my morning fishing. Wasn't a great morning to be throwing a spinnerbait. Had that bright blue sky with the sun shining down, and but I was testing the rod and I needed to throw spinnerbait. I was also throwing some new color spinnerbaits from Throwing Thunder. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Now, hey, this rod, she's pretty. I mean, real pretty, but hey, sometimes look can be deceiving, but not in this case. This thing did exactly what I needed it to do for me in spinnerbaits. I talked to Josh, Dunamis Rods, and Josh actually built me the rod that I needed to fish a spinnerbait. As you can see, I mean, I was catching them. If they hit, I caught them. Well, maybe that one, but that wasn't the rod's fault, as I showed you on the video. It's kind of hard when you set the hook into the folded back trailer to get it all the way through and into the bass's mouth. Heck, I don't even know if I could have done that with my jig rod. But the rod's awesome. I'll highly recommend Dunamis Rods. Josh will work with you, build you the rod you need. He knows rods, and he did exactly that for me. Now, I was fishing spinnerbaits. Well, you know by now I only fish one spinnerbait, and that's the Throwing Thunder spinnerbaits. This one here is kind of new. It's a rumblebee with the painted blades. This is the one that did most of the damage. I started out with that white and blue, caught a couple bass on that, but when I switched to this, I caught quite a few bass. In fact, I caught bass after the video was over. I got a couple pictures if you want to see them. In fact, I even forgot to take some pictures afterwards. So all in all, I'd have had a limit today. I'd have had a good limit of bass if it had been a tournament, even for a day that wasn't a spinnerbait day. So Throwing Thunder did its job. Dunamis Rods did their job. So if you want spinnerbaits, go to Throwing Thunder. If you want a dandy rod, Dunamis Rods. Till next time, tight lines, and hey, take a kid fishing. Bye.